This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that.
You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2,
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's
Friday.
That was actually really disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, normally you were like
You said it like it was Tuesday. That was a Tuesday,
Let's try it
Friday.
again.
Yeah.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's
I'm in R&B mode. Y'all are
right.
too happy right now.
We are live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
I feel like Brandon's one of those guys that listens to R&B in his car by himself, turned up loud.
I do that. I actually do that. What's
See?
wrong with
And I
that?
spray my curls
There
while
we
I'm
go.
doing it. Soul
I'm not
Glow,
mad at
baby.
you.
Just let your
Soul Glow. We're
Little
starting
Anita
with
Baker?
that. All right, here with Soul Glow, Brandon, Stephanie, Al. I'm Tori. Sam is on her way to Disneyland.
Have fun,
yeah.
Sammy.
All jealous. Let's get started. Actually, a really serious story to start with, a horrific story out of London, where a lesbian couple were viciously beaten on a bus. And a serious warning to our viewers, the picture you're about to see is graphic and may be disturbing to some. A young woman named Melania was with her girlfriend Chris when they said they were approached, by a group of young men. She says the guys demanded they kiss and began making lewd comments. The confrontation turned violent, leaving the two women bloody. Melania herself posted this picture and her story to Facebook, hoping to shed light on how common violence has become. London police are still looking for the suspects. I do quickly want to go to London, our Londoner, our Brit here, but I will say this is not rare for queer or lesbian or gay people. Our own producer, Michael Dean, was beaten up here in Denver, and in the past year, 3 transgendered people in Dallas have been murdered, including one 2 days ago. So I want us to bring it all around the world. It's not just in London. But how do you feel about this stuff?
I feel really embarrassed of my home city. This is so shocking. London is such a progressive, diverse, and culturally open city. The fact that this has happened is so shocking to me. It's absolutely hideous.
And to be on a double-decker bus, which is a tourist place, is even worse.
This is what I don't understand. So on our double-decker, so this is something that in America, you guys don't have cameras everywhere. We do. So we're used to being monitored. And on double-decker buses, you can act that everything is recorded, even on a bus. So what's baffling me right now is how, I mean, unless the police have got these people in custody, how they're still being searched for. Like London Met seriously needs to sort that out. That's bad.
Yeah, and we did the story yesterday about how the guys are making the straight guy
right.
walk, and then yesterday we were upset because we felt like they were making a mockery of what the LGBT people go through. Now we have this. So, as a brother, like I say all the time, with a sister that's LGBT, you have your hate crime, but this is going to breed a retaliate crime because someone's going to want to retaliate. Whether it's a gay person on a straight person or whatever, someone's going to want to retaliate. And I'm calling all straight men who are comfortable with themselves. We need to step up and we need to start saying these things and we need to start disowning these people and these types of crimes for sure.
What do you think, Al? You think it's gone up, the violence?
I just sit here and I wonder how many people on the bus let that go down.
I was just
This is what
thinking
I mean. What is going on?
We're on that bus, and how could that go on? I mean,
Right.
there's a point where you as a citizen, whether you be a male or a female, whatever, that you stop when you see an injustice going on. You do whatever you have to do to protect 2 young women that are being beaten by multiple men. So it's disappointing, but this is the way that I keep myself grounded, is I always say for the most part, we are progressing. We are going to have things like this. We are, we're having this conversation.
You're right.
And we are moving forward. So don't let this think that like we've stopped with our progress. Don't let these 4 ignorant, I can't call them humans. I won't do that.
Absolutely not. Hooligans.
Yes.
Hooligans.
Yeah.
We'll move on from there.
We'll move on.
I can all agree with you.
Yeah.
In related news, guys, a Goldman Sachs executive is suing because he was fired for being too gay. The former VP says he was kept off a client call because he sounded too gay on the phone. He also claims a supervisor asked him, quote, "What's wrong with you? Do you act this way because you're gay?" Goldman Sachs official says the lawsuit was without merit. Just to give you guys some background, Goldman Sachs actually has some very progressive LGBTQ policies in place, so I wanted to give some background on that. Immediately, what are your first thoughts, Al?
My first thoughts is I thought Goldman Sachs was about profit. Like, apparently, if this guy worked his way up, he must be making money for this company.
Yeah.
And I always thought if anywhere, didn't matter what color you were, as long as the color was green, they didn't have a problem with it. So I just find this very strange.
My cousin works at Goldman Sachs, both in New York and in London. Really? And I think, yes, whilst they might be very progressive in terms of the LGBTQ community, I think maybe they mentioned his voice in particular. So maybe it's more of like a character thing, which I don't agree or condone whatsoever. When I went in to go visit my cousin, on a few occasions, I was told to really be quiet, to not make a scene, don't talk, because apparently I wasn't like professional enough.
Oh, wow.
Just when I went to go and visit her for a coffee.
Wow.
So that was just because I guess I'm quite a loud person. And
What do you mean, Steph? No, you're not.
A little bit.
What do you think, Brandon?
I think I got to play devil's advocate on this one because like you said, Al, money talks. The only color that a lot of businesses care about is green. So could this be one of those situations, and we've seen this before, their work is declining, maybe. Someone's out earning this person, maybe. And then you get fired, and then you start thinking of, hey, well, someone mentioned this to me one day. Someone said this to me one day.
I think that's fair to bring up. I think that's fair
to bring up because we don't know. We haven't heard Goldman Sachs side of it. We haven't heard other employees side of it. So it's one of those things. It's like in football when someone get cut. Oh, the coaches didn't like me. Oh, I didn't get enough reps. That sort of thing. So I want to sit back a little, wait for this to play out a little bit.
And see how it goes.
I will just say this on top of Brandon's point. I'm sorry to cut you off. But you rarely hear people when they've been let go say, you know what, my performance was declining. I was really not at my best. It's usually, and I'm guilty of this too, whenever I got fired, for something I did, showing up late. Well, I told him I was going to be late. No one, it's hard for human beings to say that. So
well, just so you guys know, Goldman Sachs has responded and said this. They deny all these allegations, but it is rare also for a VP to take this to the top. It's not just some worker, it's a vice president here. So we'll keep track of the story. Okay. Now to some Hollywood breakup news. Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk are on the rocks.
Did he shake her off?
Oh, good one now. According to People magazine, they are calling it, good graphics, quits after 4 years of dating. People reports they decided to end their relationship on good terms and are working out shared custody of their daughter. No word on what caused the split, but we've been reporting on rumors all week that the relationship was on the rocks. Now, this all comes amid rumors that Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper could have a romance brewing. Remember this performance at the Oscars? I think we all remember that performance. And no one can deny that on-screen chemistry in A Star is Born. But do they have chemistry in real life? Well, apparently that's what a lot of people online are hoping. Some even speculating this is a total rumor. She could have his baby within this year.
I got to hear from Steph on this one.
Bloody rageous. This is ridiculous. Okay, so we all know that they did have chemistry in the movie. They are actors. I think Lady Gaga definitely has the hots for Bradley. I said that the whole time.
Who doesn't? He's gorgeous.
I mean, look at that face. How can you not? But I think he put up with her, and her sometimes. How do we say her behaviour is like slightly...
Your speculation is she was more into him than he was into her.
Yeah, and I think that his poor partner has put up with so much for so long.
So you feel bad for
She sat there at the Oscars, she watched them perform so many times being very cosy. If that was my boyfriend, I would not be happy.
Even if it's a movie and they're just playing characters?
In the movie, yeah, but not in real life in front of my face.
What I don't understand, Al, is how the ladies are letting Bradley Cooper get away with this. Like, do you understand that? He's been with this lady 4 years, 1 kid, no ring. Like Beyonce said, if you like it, then you're going to put a ring on it. Why aren't you guys going after him like, oh, he's a bad boyfriend?
Because so many people in Europe with Irina Shayk remember, marriage isn't always the answer. A lot of people are partners for a long time. Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn, they never got married. No. So there's been a process of moving away from marriage.
Yeah, but that's not for most people, though.
That's true.
And especially, I think people do want a little bit of stability and a little bit of kind of guarantee. Like, are we going to do this? Because we are getting older. Let's be honest. Not me, but you guys. And, honestly, everybody wants a little stability. Just being like, are we going to do this or should I look for a partner? Because at this age, we're not 24 anymore. We're kind of looking for a partner.
No, you're much older. All right, Beyonce fans were up in arms. It was all over this moment, guys, at Wednesday's night's NBA Finals match. A woman named Nicole Curran, who happens to be the Warrior owner's wife, was leaning over Beyonce to speak to Jay-Z. Fans noticed Beyonce giving her the side eye, and that was all they needed to pounce on Curran. Twitter erupted with comments like, "This Becky with the good hair, about to get her wig split." Curran defended her actions, saying she was just trying to buy Beyonce and Jay-Z drinks. She says she's even received death threats from Beehive members. Well, now Beyonce's publicist is asking fans to chill, saying, quote, "It will bring no joy to the person you love so much if you spew hate in her name."
So there's no denial there, is there?
No.
She's just saying, please stop.
Yeah, and she also went on to say, when I go to these concerts, this is the spokeswoman, I see so much love, but what I don't like is online, the Beehive can get very filled with hate very, very quickly.
Absolutely, which is why we shouldn't be hearing from a publicist. I don't want to hear from the next in line or the next in kin. I want to hear from Beyonce herself to tell the Beehive to chill out. You can at me, Beehive, because you guys
Oh, get ready, big.
Come on now, that's way too much. And Beyonce was the one who nudged her, all because the lady is trying to reach around and ask Jay-Z what drink he wants, what kind of drinks he wants.
Hey, look
Come on
at
now.
Beyonce's. Let's just look at this photo. Look at Beyonce's body language. There was another picture that was slightly more head-on that we saw, and she clearly is turned the other way. She's got her hands kind of folded. Look at
the
this.
legs.
That is like back up. I don't want you in my personal space.
But does that mean...
It's very nice, you know, say to my partner, oh, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Do you want a
Can I
drink?
get you a drink?
Okay, enough conversation now. Like,
But does
move
this
away,
warrant
move
a
away.
swarm of emoji bees?
Absolutely not.
No.
But I mean, this is what happens. I mean, because we are so ingratiated in our
death threats.
you know, in our celebrities' lives, it was like you think about somebody 20, 30 years ago, like Johnny Carson. You didn't know what he did on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
You might have been a fan of him when the show came on. You liked him when it went off. You never heard from him. And now it's like you can see what somebody's kitchen looks like, see what their kids look like. Oh, getting on the plane. I'll see you in Houston in an hour. Like people feel so in touch with their celebrities
there with
that
them.
they feel that protective of them to the point where they'll threaten somebody's life. Is it healthy? No, but I see where it comes from.
I think her fans are that loyal, and obviously after we saw Beyonce's album when she was talking clearly about Jay-Z cheating on her
There's some
and how
trauma
much
there.
it hurt her, I think they're overly protective. But I think when it gets to the point where people are sending death threats to someone, Beyonce herself, like Brandon says, needs to come out and just say,
You think Queen Bee
hey.
needs to say something?
Well, she clearly posted pictures cropping this woman out with her looking very disgruntled. I mean, she's encouraged it, I believe in her.
right.
I really do.
Okay.
So don't come for me, Beehive. Come for Stephanie.
Don't come for me. Do not come for me.
We love you, Beehive.
That one, Al.
All right, DBL is
Throwing
live.
your co-host under the bus.
And we love the
Cheers.
Beehive. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. And coming up, we're showing you the hottest summer nail trends, including designs that actually change color with your mood. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Now that Julia Roberts and Patricia Arquette have spoken out against sex scenes in movies, the debate is heating up. Are such sex scenes even necessary? We want to hear your comments coming up next.
Happy Friday, DBL Nation! Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. It's finally Friday. Let us know what you're doing this weekend. Send us in a little comment. Let's go to the desk and see what's going on. Hey, Tor. Hey. Leopard. Rawr.
Can I?
Leopard. Rawr. I've got something I want to clearly say to everyone right now. I'm very disappointed about this. I've kind of made it vocal to several producers, but clearly no one cares for me today.
I care.
Today is National Donut Day. Where are the donuts? We did National Cheese Day. I had to feed Brandon cheese for like 10 minutes. Where's my donut?
That's a good.
for somebody.
Wait,
Where's
what kind of
my
donut
donut?
girl are you?
Okay, I only like one type of donut.
I'm kind of
Can I
the
be
same
honest?
way. I don't get a bunch of different donuts.
I like a jam donut.
Is it the jelly one?
You call it jelly, I call it jam.
But you've only had like one of those in your life?
No, I only eat that one on repeat.
She's only had one. Oh, that's so cute.
But you
It
guys
was
put
so
really
good.
weird stuff on like crunchy stuff.
we
and,
like, yeah, we put
Oreos.
there's some places with like bacon and like a
Yeah, and
Salisbury
see,
steak.
See, that's
Yeah.
just really weird to me. Just
too
give
much.
me a jam, a raspberry or strawberry jam donut.
That's it?
I'm really happy.
All right,
with
Al,
that.
what's your donut choice?
I'm super boring. I
Yes,
like just
that's
the
good.
glaze with like maybe just like another vanilla glaze on
Oh,
top
you
of
are
it with the
boring.
sprinkles.
Okay, you're boring. That's what, when they invented donuts, that's like what they invented.
Well, what do you get? Your bagels are super extra. I'm just gonna let you know.
It's 100% right.
Oh,
It's valid.
Tori gets the best bagel.
So, and when I go, the people have to ask me to repeat because they think it can't be on a cinnamon raisin. But yes, I have onion, chive, cream cheese on a cinnamon raisin.
I love cinnamon
turkey,
raisin.
and then onions.
That's very strange.
It's not
No,
good.
it's
It's
something
taking
about
away
the
from
taste.
the actual bagel.
I
The
like
bagel
sweet
should be
and
fresh
sour.
and should be about
The
the bread. You
cinnamon
shouldn't need
goes
all
with
that bells and
the
whistles to
jalapeno.
make your bagel good.
The
If
cinnamon
you make a good
raisin
bagel,
goes
you don't
with
need
it.
that.
No,
I like the cinnamon raisin.
With the bacon and the egg and the cheese, the cinnamon raisin
You
goes
guys
with
want to both put
custard,
ketchup on your
and
steak.
donut.
Kim says custard-filled Long Johns are the only way to go for donuts. Apple fritters count as donuts, says Michael Loveland.
Send the
Yeah, those
donut.
kind of-
And what about
Send
marmalade?
the
back to Daily Blast Live. It's time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. A social media post about sex scenes in movies and TV shows has sparked an online debate. Recently, Patricia Arquette and Julia Roberts discussed the awkwardness of sex scenes, and now a Reddit poll reveals that several viewers share the same sentiment. Some agree and say they're not necessary, while others say sultry scenes help develop characters and can actually make the movie. I'm sorry for that weird face I made when I said sultry. That was weird. I'm sorry. So DBL Nation, should movies and TV shows include sex scenes?
All right, let's get to these comments. Barbara from Facebook says, sex and violence have become gratuitous in movies nowadays. Most of the time, we don't need either one. Maybe in like Finding Nemo or even like Aladdin, the remake, or even Lion King. Yes, we don't need sex scenes or violence, but there are some movies, Mission Impossible, Avengers, you need the action, you need the violence. So there are some movies where you need sex scenes, whether it be raunchy or sensual, because you have to set up that plot or that character.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Carly from Facebook says, I'm okay with it as long as anything beyond kissing gets an R rating. Parents need to know what movies to not let their kids see. I'm looking at Brandon's face and he's in disgust. What, B?
Anything more than kissing, R rating?
I think, okay.
That is a bit strict, isn't it?
A bit strict.
Well, a topless scene would get you an R rating, correct?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not against sex scenes. I think they're absolutely fine. I think sometimes it really adds to a story. I mean, it can be quite hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you know, if it's a kids movie, there's no need. Or sometimes it can be done in a bit of like a tasteful way. We all remember Titanic, hand on the window, smear.
I think we all remember that. That's true.
I don't. Joanne from Facebook says, if I'm watching a show at home, I usually fast forward anyway. I don't need to watch them to enjoy the rest of the movie. Joanne, I feel you on that. I mean, I think we're kind of getting to the point where, because there was a period of time where you couldn't see sex, there was a need for that, but now, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, it's everywhere. So I don't know if I need that in order for me to follow along with the story. So maybe I'll be sitting with you fast forwarding as well.
Whoa, really?
Fast forwarding?
Well, if she
come on.
It's TV. You can't see anything on TV anyway. It's
TV and movies, though. Remember, Julia Roberts was talking about it. Well, Beth from Facebook says sex scenes are okay as long as they're tasteful. However, rape scenes should never be shown in a movie. I've actually heard this before because it can trigger someone in the scene, in the theater, that's actually had that. But at some point, movies are art, and art reflects life, and it's important that we visually show that. So I'm okay with it, especially Legends of the Fall. That's all I have to say. That one scene, we all know what it is.
Me and Brandon don't.
Thank you. Let's get to this last one. Ralph from Facebook says, I think sex scenes are fine as long as they have artistic merit. You just said it. As long as it has to relate to the plot. It has to really tell some sort of story within a story. Yes, but Stephanie.
Yes, love.
Hands.
Smear. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean,
what's your favorite sex scene in a movie?
Oh, geez, there's been a fair few matched up, I think. I'll let you know in the break.
What about you? Do you have a favorite sex scene?
Not really.
No?
Monster Ball.
Okay.
Oh, you mentioned that this morning.
That was on deck.
Wow, he came up with that fast. Coming up on DBL, elevate your nail game and really make your fingers sparkle. We'll show you how real flowers can do the trick. It's amazing. Coming up next.
DBL Nation, you just heard DBL Raunchy, which we just talked about the sex scenes and stuff. So let's get to some of you guys'
You
comments.
said Monster Ball really fast.
Monster Ball, because we talked about it in the meeting today.
Yeah, but you
so
said it in the
already-
morning meeting, like off the cuff.
Because it was one of the best sex scenes in a movie with Billy Bob Thornton and Halle Berry. It was just, I mean, I've always thought of that. Like,
I mean, Halle Berry is like sick, let's not lie.
yeah, but I mean,
I got you.
will we get in trouble if I ask DBL Nation to write in their
No, I think we can do
sex?
that.
Or do they have a place in movies now? Obviously, we're talking about it because people are talking about it online. But
I think it's not always necessary. So sometimes it's annoying. Like in Game of Thrones, I'm the biggest Game of Thrones lover. Like no, I mean, me and Brendan fight about this all the time. Like, we both love Game of Thrones, and I think sometimes they had like nudity and sex where it wasn't really needed. Do you not think? Especially
like
season
nude
one.
scenes?
Season one.
I think
was a bit
season.
aggressive.
I think when you think season one, you're talking the first season of a show. You have to draw in that audience. You have to. So you're using violence. You're using the sex. You're using subliminal message to bring people in, and especially when you're talking about like it was Jason Momoa and what's her name? Khaleesi.
Amelia Clark.
Those are two good-looking people. You're gonna bring people in on that. So write in. We want to know what you guys think. We have some friends next.
Welcome back to DBL. Whether it's for an upcoming vacation or a special night out, if you're looking to make a statement with your nails this summer, we've got the hottest trends in today's DBL Style 101 class. Our own Stephanie Jones, Erica Cobb, and I went to Mainstream Nails to learn what's hot this summer.
This is going to be so much fun.
I'm excited.
Hello, Ellie. How are you? Welcome to Mainstream.
Thank you. So excited.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you for having us.
So what are you ladies thinking of doing today?
Okay, well, I'm going on holiday.
Okay.
So I want some really pretty nails they're a bit funky.
Well, you know me. I'm mainstream through and through. So I'm going to do girls' night. We got to give them something to hate on.
And I garden.
We can work with that. We can work with that. All right, ladies, let's go have some fun. Today, Stephanie is doing some pastels, and we are gonna add on some pigment. So it's called unicorn pigment that kind of creates a really cool, colorful effect.
I'm having mood polish, which goes on in like a turquoise, but then it turns white. I'm really excited because watch this finger. Look how blue it is, and just you wait, and you will see.
And since she's going on vacation, we want to give her some starfishes, seashell charms, just to make it pop a little bit. So with Tori's nails, we're gonna just extend them a little bit for her. So then we'll just attach these extensions on and then polish.
So Lena is going to chop this down to what she calls, quote, practical length, and I'm all, oh, nuts.
Okay, so with Erica, we are going to encapsulate some dried flowers. They're actually real dried flowers, and we're gonna make her look like summer.
Yay! To a successful day at the nail salon. Cheers! Cheers!
I mean, I think we kind of nailed it, right? We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
Spaces was one of my favorite shows and one of the first DIY home makeover shows on TV. And after being off the air for 10 years, it's back with the show's unforgettable host, Paige Davis. I caught up with Paige about what it's like to pair up neighbors with a designer to make over a room in each other's homes. And she shared with me that some of the reveals, they don't always have a happy ending. In today's Chatting with the Stars. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Paige, thank you so much for being here. Now, would you trust any of your neighbors, Paige, to personally make over a room in your house? And my favorite question is, what designer would you want to pair them with?
You do have to trust your neighbors to do a good job, like to execute it. But it's really the designer that comes up with the concept. And so it really is, would you trust any Trading Spaces designer in your home? And as far as that goes, I would trust them all. I would even trust Hildy. I would actually love Hildy to design a room in my house.
Open your eyes and see your new living room.
The reveals have not always had a happy ending. What reaction do you remember most? And there's been a few.
Oh, well, I mean, there's the most infamous.
You guys are going to be fixing that in a little bit.
The fireplace.
Yep.
She was very upset that we had covered her fireplace. And then the episode where Jessie hated Brown and she started choking her neighbor. That is the only episode in Trading Spaces history where the neighbors were no longer friends.
I was going to ask
after, having a negative reveal. And I'm always worried it's not going to be finished on time. Like, none of that is acting on my part. Like,
that's real.
I never think they're going to finish. The rooms always are in a shambles, like 30 minutes leading up to time's up. And I'm always astounded that the the designer and the team pulls it together.
Now, this is a question for you. It's a really simple show, and it was off the air for a decade, but it's so relevant, and people just love it. It gives me such a sense of comfort. It's like mac and cheese in a TV show. Why do you think that is?
It really is.
Isn't it?
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it was the first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was this sort of attachment to the fandom. We have very, very, very loyal fans.
So loyal.
And I think that our camaraderie as a cast kind of pops off the screen.
Yep.
And I often liken it to people watching Friends, the television show Friends.
right.
Like when you're watching that show, you want to hang out with those 6 friends at Central Perk. And I think that people felt that way about the cast of Trading Spaces. Like, I want to hang out with them.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be sure to tune in for season 10.
Thank you, Tori.
Welcome back to DBL. A South Carolina middle school teacher is going viral for his tribute to Beyonce. He promised a student he would learn a dance to the song Before I Let Go if the student aced an exam. Well, she did, and he kept his promise. Watch this. Dedication. The teacher knew the 14-year-old student loved dancing and gave her an incentive she couldn't refuse. She choreographed this dance herself, and he really does do it justice.
Oh.
That is a good teacher. That's a
love my
good
teachers.
teacher.
That's
I'll clap
awesome.
and be the only
I
one
love
that's cool.
it.
Oh,
That
well
is
done.
so cute. I can imagine Al doing something like that for his kids.
Yeah, but
I bet you did.
that guy was a good dancer.
He had some moves,
Yeah,
dude.
he was ready for that.
Some moves.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have some moves into the weekend. We'll see you on Monday, same time, same place. Bye, guys.